Hi everyone, and welcome to this final video of a series of videos that I've created to help you to be able to attract in and sell to high ticket clients using the energy in your defined or undefined centers in human design. Today, we're going to be talking about the root center, which is the final center that I want to share with you. And also just to remind you that if you really love this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments below. Even though I'm recording these videos and putting them out onto YouTube, I really love to read your comments and to answer your questions. I feel like this can be like, a two-way conversation, and I really want to be able to help you as much as I can with you being able to understand how to sell in a more effective and enjoyable way. I've just been on a call with an amazing woman, and we were talking about how important it is as women to empower ourselves with money, because money gives us choices. So if you're running a business and you're not making sales, it's not a business. You're not going to be successful. But so many women that I speak to still feel really uncomfortable with selling. They might actually be selling things, but they're still really uncomfortable. So let's make it the norm to not only be successful when we are in sales conversations, but to make it enjoyable. I don't know about you, but I do not want to get on a call with someone for half an hour and feel anxious and feel awkward and feel shame around having a conversation around what they want to create in their business and how I can help them, and then giving them an offer and making them an offer to come and work with me. Like, that's not how I want to spend my day, and that's not the way that I want you to spend your day as well. I want you to get really excited and lit up about having these conversations with people, because it's part of the process. It's part of you running the business. And okay, yes, as you grow your business, as you become more successful, I'm sure that other people will be selling for you within your business. But it's not just about getting onto calls with people. I've said this so many times in previous videos. It's not just about sales conversations, right? I'm going to get on a call with you and we're going to have a conversation about a product and about you potentially coming and working with me. It's also those other conversations that we have throughout the day. It's you going onto socials, creating videos like this, making people offers, meeting people, and asking you about your work. It's all related to sales, because at the end of the day, you want to create success within your business. You want to be able to sell your products and your services, and also you want to be able to help other people. I would think that this is why you are in business, because you're heart-led, you're purpose-driven, and you want to be able to help other people create opportunities for themselves and grow and expand in their business and in their life. Well, the way that you're going to help them is that they are going to step in to whatever program you are offering and whatever service you're offering, and that will mean having a sales conversation. So this is integral. Like, come on, we need to be really like comfortable and happy with this. And one of the things that I found most effective throughout all of my time now working within human design and helping, hundreds, thousands actually of women through the different channels that I am affiliated with, to be able to help them be more visible, create more success, make more money in their business through learning about their human design. Through all of that experience, I found that the centers really hold such a so many clues as to how you can really understand like how your energy is received by others and how you give your energy to others. Sales conversation is just like any other conversation. It's listening to someone, it's really understanding what it is that they need and then offering them solutions and sharing yourself. It's just two people sharing or a bunch of people sharing. That's all it is. But we can get so hung up, right, in these sales conversations. So if you're saying to me as you're watching me speak now and going, oh my goodness, I want to get more comfortable with sales, then this is really going to help you. And there are a series of videos that I've already created that are available for you now on YouTube, on my channel, and you can go and you can watch those. And if you want to dive deeper, I'm recording this on Tuesday, September the 2nd, and in 2 days' time, on Thursday, September the 4th, I'm going to be holding a live 2-hour workshop where we're going to be diving deeper into this. There are some amazing women that have already joined, that have signed up. I'd love to have you on there and for you to really, really understand your human design. So you bring your human design chart, and I'm going to be deep diving into that and helping you to really understand that when it comes to selling, when it comes to making money, when it comes to inviting people to come and work with you. So I'm going to put the link below. And if you're watching this after September the 4th, then there will more than likely be a link for the replay where you can go and join the replay. So let's dive into the root center. So the root center is down at the very bottom of the chart. So this is my human design chart. You can see it here. You can see that my root center is defined. And the reason that I know that it's defined, well, first of all, it's my chart. So I know. But secondly, if there was someone else's chart that I'd never met before, I would know it's defined because it's colored in. So it's grayed out. So the coloured in areas, the areas that are grey are defined, and then the areas that are white are either open or undefined. And there is a difference between open and undefined. If you go and watch the first video in this series, then I will explain the differences. So I'm not going to go into detail on this video, but you can go and watch that one. But for the time being, and on today's video, I'm going to talk about defined centers, defined root, and undefined root. So please be reassured that when I'm talking about undefined, I'm also talking about yours if it's open. Now, the root is very interesting because it's a pressure center. There are two pressure centers in your human design chart. There's one at the top, which is your head center, which is the triangle that points up to the top. It points up into the universe. This is where you get all your ideas and inspiration from. And then we also have one down at the root, and they are both pressure centers. So the root is pressure, and it is linked to your adrenals. It's linked to your adrenal glands. It holds Kundalini energy. For those of you who have followed me for a while, you'll know that I'm a bit of a fangirl, not only of 5-1s, I'm also a fangirl of Kundalini yoga. And it's that wonderful, like, very, very kind of like, how do I describe it even? It's that very potent energy. Potent, I think that's the best word. That very potent and powerful energy that we hold down in our root centers. And when we do Kundalini yoga, what we're doing is we're kind of like activating that energy, and we're moving up through our body, through the different centers, and out through our head center. It's one of the reasons that I love to combine Kundalini yoga with human design. They are both Aquarian age technology that is helping. It's been designed to help us in the Aquarian age to be our own gurus, to make decisions with our bodies, and to be in this wonderful energy of information sharing, collaboration, which we are so good at with as human beings. And that is the currency for this new age. So we've moved out the Aquarian, we've moved out the Piscean age, which was all about like keeping information at the top. People at the top would have all the money and all the power because they had the information. And now we're in this Aquarian age where information is being shared. The Piscean age is still in its death throes. I'm sure that you're very aware of that. But in the Aquarian age, this is about collaboration. It's about community building. This is about sharing information. We have information at our fingertips through AI, through the technology, and it's just going to get more and more and more. So actually what human design does is it teaches us to come out of our bodies, out of our heads and into our bodies, and use our bodies as a decision-making tool. So we now have 9 centers within human design as opposed to the 7-center chakra, Bakris chakra, Hindu Bakris chakra system. So this is Aquarian age technology. Some might say it's alien technology. I might agree with that, because this is wonderful, wonderful technology that you can use as a resource. And one of the ways that you can use that as a resource is to use it when you are in those sales conversations. So what is the energy that is contained in the root center? In terms of the defined root, you have a fixed way of processing pressure. There's pressure there, and you have a way that you can process that. And you know, one of the things that I would say about you, if you've got a defined root, is that you expect others to deal with pressure the way that you deal with it. And please be aware that we also have our wonderful undefined root sisters, brothers and sisters, and they are not necessarily designed to deal with pressure the way that you deal with it. So you deal with pressure in a very consistent way. You're familiar with it, you deal with it in a consistent way. If your root is undefined, then that means that you don't have consistent access to this energy, and what you do is you feel the energy of others, you amplify it, you taste it, and then it kind of like goes. So what you might find is when you're tasting other people's pressure, energy and stress, is that you might feel hurried and harried by other people. That's because you're bringing in their energy from their centers. And very often you might feel like you need to hurry things along in order to relieve that pressure. And just to let you know, you don't need to hurry things along. I would say that in my experience, the root center is one of the centers. The heart center is a big one as well. But the root center is one of the centers that will really take you out the game when it comes to whether you're aligned to your strategy or not. So you will have a strategy in your human design. It'll either be wait to respond, wait to be invited, to inform before you act, or wait for a full moon cycle, dependent on what your human design type is. And you can go and look at all the videos that I have here on this YouTube channel about the different human design types. But your root center can take you out the game there, like massively, especially if it's undefined, because what you're doing is you're trying to like relieve that pressure that someone else is giving to you. So it's like, oh, okay, I'll make a decision, I'll act now. Well, if you're not designed to initiate, if you're not a manifester, you're designed to wait for something, what can happen is that can prevent you from waiting, and then you go against your human design strategy, which, say for example, if you're a generator, manifesting generator, you are designed to wait to respond. You will go against that, which means that you're out of alignment in your human design. So if you are a generator, manifesting generator, that means that you will be very frustrated. And if you're a manifesting generator, you'll probably be angry as well. Okay, so it's going to put you into that lower vibrational energy instead of being in that higher vibrational energy, which is generator, manifesting generator. I'm using that as an example, is satisfaction, this inner satisfaction. So if you are ever feeling like that lower vibrational frequency of anger or frustration, or bitterness or disappointment with life, then look at your strategy. Ask yourself, am I aligning myself? Am I following my strategy? And also look at your root center and just think about, okay, am I trying to put pressure on myself to act, or is someone so defined, and is someone else putting pressure on me to act? Undefined. Now, this is where it comes into play on calls, on sales calls. Hands up. Hands up, anyone who is watching this, comments below, anyone that is watching this that has ever felt pressure to act on a sales call. Either you're running the sales call and you feel the pressure, or more than likely, you're the other side of the sales call, you're being sold to and you feel pressure. I've had so many experiences of this. So it's just to be aware that that is what's going to happen, because on these sales calls, you can feel a lot of pressure. But I'm not talking about you being on a sales call and being sold to. I'm talking about you holding that sales call. So you're on a call or you're in a conversation with someone and it feels like, they're like giving you all this the buying signals, as we say in sales. People give you buying signals, and we're going to be talking about this actually in the workshop that I'm running on September 4th. We're going to be I'm going to cover this with you, because I used to train sales. I used to train people how to sell and how to be able to sell effectively and how to read those buying signals. So people are you know about buying signals, and people are giving you buying signals. They're making all the right noises, their body language is all there, and you're like, okay, I need to then close. Okay, so you're thinking about closing the call. So with a defined root center, you actually handle that pressure really, really well. So remember, you always have access to that pressure, and you're able to create the momentum in conversations that move things forward. So first of all, throughout the call, you're able to move things forward. If you feel that things are becoming a bit stagnant, or there's a bit too much talking, you can kind of move it along. So your base is steady, your root is steady and stable. So the person on the call is going to be feeling that from you. They're going to be feeling that calm. They're going to feel very grounded, because they're going to be feeling that from you on the call. But please, please be mindful of trying to push things through. Okay. So you might have learned how to sell, and someone's like, you need to put that urgency in. Okay, buy it now. Like, get them to say yes on the call. Give them an offer and say it's going to go away. Like, it's putting that in urgency. And again, I call bullshit on that. I really, really do. Okay, I will put urgency into things in terms of like, for example, this workshop that I've created for a couple of days' time, I've put some urgency into it. It's like, first of all, it was available for 111 for a few days, and then it went up to 222 for a few days, and now it's 333. And I put urgency into that, and I've got no problem with doing that. My clients know that if they jump in early, they're going to get a good deal. Okay. If they wait it for a little bit, the price is going to go up. So they know that. But I'm talking about when you are on a sales call and you are trying to kind of like back someone into a corner and get them to say yes and sign on the dotted line there and then. It's not good. It's not cool. It's not a great way to do business ethically. Why on earth do you want to try and convince and cajole someone into buying something from you? Okay, what you can do is you can guide them through the process. You can answer their questions. You can say to them, look, very authentically and organically, I've got an offer on at the moment. If you decide that you want to jump in now, then you will have access to that offer. But this is not about you trying to pressurize someone. Okay, so just be aware of that. If you have a defined root, please be aware of, in any situation, if you're trying to pressure someone, because it's going to kind of upset the dynamics a little bit. And I think that's where some people that I speak to that might have done this sales training, that think that that's the way that they need to sell, and they have defined roots, have not had the best outcomes from it. So either people have like tried to get off the call really quickly, or they ghost them, or they actually join and then they want a refund. Like, remember, please remember, this is not just about getting a sale at the front end. This is about retaining that client, actually retaining that client. You don't want to be kind of like bringing people onto your program and then all of a sudden people like wanting to break their contracts and wanting refunds from you. And that will happen if they feel pressurized into selling and it's not the right product for them. That will happen. Okay, so this is about having a really nice conversation with someone, them saying yes because they actually want to say yes, they're not being pressured into it, and then you having a very nice relationship off the back end with that client, who will then come and work with you and do more things with you and recommend you to their friends. The relationship starts with the sales call. With an undefined center, you are actually able to be intuitively feel into the energy. So you can create this, you can pick up, not create it, you can pick up if there's any urgency from that other person. You'll be able to pick up any like hidden objections or hesitations. You'll be able to feel it from their root center. So you can actually naturally create space for them. It's not about rushing the outcome. It's about creating that space for them to be able to kind of like work through the process when they're on the call. You might actually feel a rush to close, okay, because you're bringing in that pressure. You don't need to, like, just let the process unfold. Obviously, I know that there'll be a time constraint. You don't want to be on a call with someone for 2 hours, but you talk about that at the beginning. You just say, look, I've got a hard stop on the hour. This is going to be, an hour conversation or half an hour conversation. To be honest with you, my sales calls, if I ever do get on a sales call, because it's very far and few between, in terms of the fact that I actually need to get on with someone, normally those conversations will happen over Messenger or something like that. But if I do get onto a call with someone, if someone's going to invest a lot of money in working with me, I would think, they'll want to get on a call with me and I'll get on a call with them. But you give them heads up at the beginning and just say, look, this isn't half an hour call. I never do my calls any more than half an hour, because what else do you need to speak about? They've already made their decision before they come on the call. They know whether they want to work with you or not. So this is just about answering their questions. You don't need to rush them. Okay, you do not need to rush them. Remember, this is about longevity. This isn't just about making the quick bucks. This is about actually being able to sustain your business, okay, and expand your business. And you're not going to be able to do that from a quick and dirty sale. So this is why the root center plays a really important part in your sales conversations. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We will dive more into it in a couple of days' time in the workshop. If you've got any questions about it, you can post your questions down below. I'll put the link down below for you to join, for you to join that workshop. And yeah, we're gonna finish now. I've been trying to keep these videos at 10 minutes. I don't think it's ever going to happen when I'm going to do a 10-minute video. I think 20 minutes or 23 minutes as we are now is a sweet spot. So let's leave it there. Please go back and watch any of the other videos. They are, they're here, they're free. Like, I wanted to create these to give you access to them. And yeah, like and subscribe my channel. Any questions below, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye.